Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the all-new 2014 Mercedes CLA250 Edition 1. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the CLA. We'll start it up to the engine, get an exhaust clipping over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And before we begin, I'd like to extend a special shout out and big thanks to Mercedes-Benz of South Charlotte, located in Pineville, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film the all-new 2014 Mercedes-Benz CLA250 Edition 1. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. The exterior color is known as Mountain Gray, featuring a very unique Edition 1 specific interior combination of black leather with microfiber suede inserts across the seats and the unique neon art color scheme, with yellow color accent stitching across the doors and the dash, and yellow and light gray trim coming across the microfiber portion of the seats. Very nice. The CLA features speed-sensitive electromechanical rack and pinion power steering, and a unique 3-spoke full leather-wrapped steering wheel with perforations across the sides, heavy bolstering up top, as well as a little down below, and a flat-bottom race-inspired feel. Polished aluminum highlights the airbag cover as well as the spokes surrounding your multifunction controls. As far as the gearbox, the standard and only option available is Mercedes' dual-clutch 7-speed automated manual transmission controlled through this stalk here. All you have to do to activate is just put your foot on the brake, pull the stalk in, and down for drive. Half a click up for neutral, and then all the way up for reverse. And for park, just hit the little chrome tab on the edge. And once you put the vehicle in reverse, your backup camera automatically appears on the 7-inch LCD display with backup lines that automatically adjust as you turn the wheel. And we're going to flip on the automatic projector headlamps, rear fog lamps, as well as the hazards. All 4 windows are fully automatic. And we'll check out the exterior, shall we? Just like many automakers this day and age, Mercedes-Benz is expanding their model portfolios to encompass more youthful, lower-priced automobiles to attract a younger crowd who may have not considered a Mercedes before. The thought is that by drawing in a fresh crowd with new faces, potential and future customers would be more apt to growing with the brand as their careers develop and families begin. The all-new CLA class is designed to fill that void as the most affordable new car in the lineup, with a base price starting at just under $30,000. Affordability doesn't mean cheap though. The CLA features many of the seductive styling cues you'd expect from more expensive sedans, with a reasonable blend of premium materials and a great options list. The name CLA stands for Coupe Light A-Class, which refers to the car's origins. It's based on the European A-Class, a 4-door hatchback that's been sold across the seas since the late 1990s. While Europe is no stranger to front-wheel drive, the CLA also represents the first front-wheel drive Mercedes to ever be sold in the US. It's also about 150 to 200 pounds lighter, depending on how equipped, than a comparable current generation C-Class, despite the CLA's larger body dimensions. Even though it's related to the Euro A-Class, the CLA boasts its own unique design language of the four-door coupe philosophy made famous by the Mercedes CLS class. In a way, taking the styling and proportions into consideration, you can even make the assertion that it's like buying a baby CLS for $40,000 less than its larger stablemate. In comparing its size, the CLA is 1.5 inches longer, 0.3 inches wider, and 0.3 inches taller than the current generation C-Class. The wheelbase of the CLA is 2.4 inches shorter than the C-Class sedan, which is where the coupe-like interior portions more come into play, making it a smaller, more intimate cabin. In fact, a larger C-Class is actually set to release around the 2015 model year. The CLA's weight saving is actually partially due to the fact that it can only incorporate a 4-cylinder powertrain up front, while the C-Class can accommodate both 6 and 8-cylinder engines. What's remarkable though is not the way it's styled but how it was styled for a purpose: aerodynamics. The CLA has been said to be the most aerodynamic car on the road today, with Euro spec cars achieving a coefficient of drag as low as 0.22 for some of the more economical versions, which is absolutely incredible. Due to slight production variation, the US-bound cars are said to be just a tick higher, but still quite good, which yields better economy without having to decrease weight by using pricey materials. It also allows for a more quiet Mercedes-like ride without obtrusive wind noise. These numbers are thanks to the use of underbody paneling to create a smoother surface, not to mention re-sculpted side view mirrors and specially designed exhaust tips. The teardrop shape of the body also features many swoops and curves with dynamic sharp edges, helping carry air out the rear as an integrated lip spoiler mounted into the trunk deck lid. The CLA is also available with all-wheel drive, branded as the Mercedes 4MATIC system. By using an electronically controlled Haldex rear differential, it has the ability to transfer the majority of the torque between the front and rear depending on which wheels have the most traction. There's also a setup that's similar to torque vectoring that individually applies brake pressure to the front wheels to help sharp corner turn-ins. The Euro spec CLA has a couple different suspension options, but US spec cars will receive the sport suspension, which is the stiffer of the two, that lowers the car by 0.8 inches in front and 0.6 inches in the rear via shorter springs. As far as the options list, there's a wide variety of premium features that can easily push the price up to the sub $40,000 range, including audio and comfort and convenience packages, wheel options, bi-xenon headlamps, and even a sport package. This Edition 1 we have here will only be produced for the first 12 months of production and limited to just 750 units. It essentially comes loaded at just over $41,000. Edition 1 cars, like other respective Mercedes models, celebrate the initial production year of a new or redesigned model. For the CLA, you can choose between 5 different paint colors, and the standard sport seats are trimmed in the unique neon art color scheme. You also get the sport package with blacked out 18-inch AMG wheels and AMG-inspired body cladding with larger air intakes and flared side skirts. Not to mention bi-xenon headlamps, chrome diamond block grille, and cross-drilled brakes. There's even an option to illuminate the Mercedes star on the grille to make it more stand out at night. The CLA Edition 1 features a signature set of black painted AMG aluminum alloy wheels with machined lip, wrapped in high-performance Goodyear Eagle F1 tires measuring 225/40 at each corner. Quite sticky and have been tested to pull as high as 0.92 G in lateral acceleration. Brakes are 4-wheel ventilated discs with optional cross-drilled discs up front and clamp diamond Mercedes-branded brake calipers. They bring the CLA250 to a stop from 60 miles an hour in a short 112 feet. The independent suspension features McPherson struts in front with wishbones and a 4-link design out back, constructed with lightweight materials such as aluminum for a rigid yet lightweight structure. Overall length is 182.3 inches with a width of 70 inches and a height of 56.6 inches. Total curb weight, depending on how equipped, is right around 3,308 pounds.
So we're going to pop the hood.
The CLA250 is powered by a transverse-mounted, all-aluminum, turbocharged and intercooled 2-liter dual-overhead cam 16-valve 4-cylinder with direct fuel injection. The turbo puts out 14.5 pounds per square inch of boost with an overboost feature that bumps horsepower by 13 and torque by 15 pound-feet for brief moments of rapid acceleration. It produces 208 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and a good amount of torque, 258 pound-feet between 1250 and 4,000 RPM. This translates to 0 to 60 times of 6.2 seconds with quarter-mile times of 14.7 seconds at 95.5 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 149 miles an hour. Compared to the 1.8-liter Turbo 4 that powers the entry-level C-Class, the CLA's 2-liter nets a 5% increase in fuel economy. With a 14.5 gallon tank and required premium fuel, expect a range of around 26 city, 38 highway. Despite what the price point may suggest, the CLA's interior is anything but cheap feeling. It still feels tailored and well laid out in traditional Mercedes fashion. All 4 doors feature frameless glass accentuating the coupe theme, while the sloping roofline gives a more dynamic feeling as you climb inside. Door panels feature a nice amount of the MB Tech synthetic leather and accented by the color accent stitching for the Edition 1. Microfiber suede also trails the middle of the panel. All of your power controls are located on the door, as is your 3-person memory, trunk release, and a little bit of storage down below. The sport bucket seats with fixed headrests are fully electric with all your power accessories located on the door. There's also 4-way power lumbar and a nice amount of lateral support. The standard seats are wrapped in the MB Tech synthetic material that actually feels a lot higher quality to the untrained touch. Full premium leather upholstery is also available, of course at additional cost. There's adjustable seat belts as well as integrated side airbags built into the seats. Aluminum door sill plaques, special edition 1 floor mats, as well as a full manual tilt telescoping steering wheel with driver mounted knee airbag. Now taking a closer look to the dash, you'll see the MB Tech's also wrapping across the entire top portion of the dash with the yellow accent stitching. All nicely finished off with an optional full panoramic sunroof.
So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. And there is a rev limiter and park and neutral around 4,500 RPM. So we're going to shut her up. This CLA features the optional Harman Kardon Logic 7 Dolby Digital Certified surround sound system putting out 450 watts through the Mercedes Command System, a mobile media 7-inch navigation telemetrics interface controlled by the little command controller located down below. The Harman Kardon audio systems are custom tailored to each respective model, so the sound profile is exactly tuned to match the shape of the interior. There is HD radio as well as satellite radio. Side curtain airbags, card holder, auto dimming rear view mirror with garage home link located down below, as well as a couple interior lights, the Embrace emergency roadside assistance system located right above that, and in the top stack here you have your microphone for your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, reading lamps, all LED, and activating the interior illumination throughout. And in the middle is the switch for your fully automatic sunroof. Push it all the way forward, and the sunshade will slide back. And it's still perforated a little bit, so it still gives a little bit of light that comes in. And then hit it again, and the roof automatically slides back. A nice wide opening gives a fantastic airy feeling to the interior. And regardless, there's always going to be a glass portion right here. It doesn't go completely over to the back, otherwise it would flow into the rear window. Now, the Mercedes Command System has undergone quite a few revisements over the past few years to make it much more user-friendly. Down below is the main controller, a little polished aluminum knob, back, clear button. Basically, you click up, down, left, and right, and push down for a selection. You can scroll, back and forth between the different options in the menus. But as far as basic operation, right now we're on our main audio screen. By clicking the wheel up and down, you can go between the top portion here, middle if one's available, or the bottom. If you click audio, it brings up all of your different radio settings or functions. So you have FM, AM, standard satellite radio, CD player, SD card input, music register. This is actually a built-in hard drive navigation. I believe it has about 80 gigabytes of total storage. The majority of that's for navigation, storing points of interest and other things of that nature. About 10 gigs or so are for storing of MP3 files, so you can use it as a giant iPod, so to speak. USB, music interface, so you have iPod auxiliary integration, standard aux down below for other MP3 players, as well as hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio. So if we go to FM or satellite radio, it brings up this screen with kind of a classic radio dial theme. You can use the rotary knob in the middle to twist back and forth and select various stations. Clicking down for the different radio options, including your presets. Activating HD radio, song information, as well as audio adjustments. And if you noticed before in the auxiliary screen, the audio adjustments are also in the bottom right hand corner. So your various equalizer settings, surround sound options, all pretty simple. And like I said, this also goes for satellite radio, as well as a few of the other menus. They're all just a little bit different, obviously custom tailored to what you're looking at. So this is your main navigation screen, big LCD display. It's very easy to see. If you click down, again, while the menus or the map is in full screen, it brings up the different menus again. Down below are all of your different navigation options. So your current position, real-time traffic updates, guide settings for points of interest as well as ones that you favorited, and your destination input. If you hit nav up top, it also brings up your navigation settings. Your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, it automatically asks you to pair it so you can store contacts, voice dial. It actually has a text messaging system where it'll read back text and then you can send one off so you don't even have to touch your phone. The system's also DVD compatible so you can play videos on the system. If you scroll on over to System, it brings up a little digitalized analog clock. Or your instantaneous miles per gallon, you can also make it full screen. System settings, activating the rear view camera manually, as well as turning the display off if you didn't want it showing up at night. Adjusting the time. Now the little world icon on the far right has a few different options, one being internet connectivity. So if you subscribe to it, you can actually access the internet from the CLA as well as stream internet radio. Upload various apps through Mercedes-Benz. Serious real-time weather updates with future forecasts based on your position, and real-time weather maps. Definitely pretty nifty. And your clock and compass are located up top. But really, in a nutshell, those are all the basic features of the infotainment system in the all-new Mercedes CLA class. The CLA is also the newest Mercedes to adopt the new air vents of the interior. Beautiful classic design, accented in polished aluminum, and very smooth in their operation. Close them by turning them to the right, open them by bringing them to the left. Brushed aluminum trim coming across the right-hand portion of the dash. You can see a little bit more right here, the yellow color accent stitching in the leatherette dash material. As we continue down the center console, more polished aluminum trim, and more controls for the infotainment system. Now, these are manual controls that you can select if you didn't want to use the command button and go through the top ones up here, so like radio, disc, navigation, telephone, etc. System settings, you can mute the audio. Your on hook and off hook buttons for your telephone, integrated dialing pad, and also doubles as your preset station activation. So, seek, power, volume, in-dash CD changer. You can program the transmission shift times here for economy, sport, as well as manual. Sport increases shift times by I think about 30% or so, and then manual obviously is with the paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel.
For better fuel economy, the Eco mode adjusts various vehicle settings to help maximize the economy, while an auto start stop feature also helps benefit a bit.
Down below that is your standard dual zone electronic automatic climate control with your temperature adjustment on both sides, It also shows up in the infotainment screen. Fan speed, front and rear defrost, as well as changing the different zones. Recycling through an air filtration system, and overall, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple system. Little lighter, power outlet, and ashtray. Single cup holder located down below for a larger cup, and then you have two more right here for standard sizes that can also adjust. Padded center console with the yellow color accent stitching. Yields a good amount of storage space with your iPod and auxiliary input. But as far as the steering wheel, your driver info controls are located to the left and show up in between the speedometer cluster. So if you click left and right, it goes between the different options like you would find in the command system. So your trip, nav, audio, telephone, drive assist, some of the various features, safety features for the vehicle, like the attention awakening if the car thinks that you're nodding off or you're kind of drifting or so, it'll sound a little chime letting you know to, well, you better wake up. As well as distance warning like a pre-collision detection system. Service indicators, vehicle settings like the personalizable options, as well as your trip and fuel data. Your radio controls are located off to the right with your hands-free telephone and voice commands. Help.
This device cannot be voice operated. The following devices are voice controllable: navigation, address book, telephone, radio, audio CD, audio DVD, or MP3.
Cancel.
Cancel.
So it's a nice pleasant voice. Obviously you can't control it with the Bluetooth system, but for everything else it'll list out all the commands and make it pretty simple to get a hold of. Your wipers, turn signal, and high beam stalk up top, and your cruise control down below. Overall, a nicely executed vehicle. I'm going to shut her down. We'll check out the back seat. Overall, the CLA, like I mentioned earlier, follows the same four-door coupe-style philosophy originally set by the Mercedes CLS. So, with the flowing roofline, it cuts off a little bit of headroom as it comes down, so taller individuals around 6 feet and over might have to duck their head a little bit as they go in. But, especially in the Edition 1, the unique trim mimics the front. So you have the microfiber suede inserts across the seats with the unique color accent stitching, as well as patterns, and the padded accents across the frameless window doors. For more storage space, there's also handles behind the seats here that allow you to fold them flat, greatly opening up rear cargo space. Little ashtray, a lighter if equipped, and or power outlet. As far as realistic space, with a comfortable seating position for myself up front, there's about a couple inches or so of leg space, and my hair is just barely grazing the headliner, but it's not actually hitting it, so to speak. Grip bars, side curtain airbags. It doesn't have any coat hooks. Your rear illumination is up top here, and also being a smaller vehicle, it also lacks an armrest down the middle, but does have the ability to sit 3 people with 3 seat belts. Alrighty. Now let's go check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we?
As far as cargo space, the CLA actually features more room than a C-Class sedan at 13.1 cubic feet, compared to the C-Class's 12.4 cubic feet. There's also some side pockets with a cargo net to the left, also the increased storage by folding down the rear seats as I showed earlier.
The passenger seat also features the same power adjustments as well as the memory settings that you find for the driver's seat, including the 4-way power lumbar. Lockable glove box, easy opening, with a good amount of space, and it's also lined in felt.
The CLA marks an exciting point for Mercedes in brand expansion, not only for the potential new customers but for the hot performance models like the CLA250 AMG, a small, nimble car that features stellar looks and great modern feel with a variety of ways to make it truly your own.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the all-new 2014 Mercedes CLA250 Edition 1. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.